Greetings and welcome to This Bloody Garden, a 5th edition Vampire the Masquerade Chronicle here on Onyx Path, and I am your storyteller for this episode here. Before we begin, Vampire is a game of personal, political, and supernatural horror. This show may contain physical and psychological violence, intense social conflict, gaslighting, loss of character agency, and many others. Furthermore, as this is a game that focuses on the Bahari, extra care and consideration for gender identity and sexual orientation, both in and out of game, is of the utmost importance. If at any time you feel uncomfortable and need to step away, we understand and will be waiting with open arms for your return. We have discussed consent and table boundaries. We've implemented the standard red and yellow card system in our chat. If at any point in time there is an issue, we will pause or stop and redirect play if needed. So, as This Bloody Garden continues to grow with Mother Wren's blessing, we're going to go ahead and say hello to our cast on episode 2, starting with Rose.
Hi everyone, I'm Rose, and I'm going to be playing Erica Todd tonight. She's new to the garden, and she is also Clan Ventru.
And next up is Ben.
Hey guys, my name is Ben, and I'm going to be playing Mortimer Lambert, the humble ghoul servant to the garden.
And Sarah.
Hello, my name's Sarah, and I'll be playing Doriana Ivory, the Toreador.
And finally, Sam.
Hi everyone, I'm Samantha McLarty, and I'm going to be playing Minerva, the Hakata for this lovely garden.
And with the introductions all squared away, let us begin. Busch Stadium dominates the riverfront in downtown St. Louis with its neighbor, the Gateway Arch. And the stadium serves as the local Elysium turned refuge against the ravening hordes outside the gates. Worshippers of Set get into skirmishes with Mithras, who get into skirmishes with the Church of Cain, who is locked into a bloody war with the Bahari and everyone else for control over the soul of the city. Clearly demarcated conflicts between political sects are much cleaner, if not clearer, than what St. Louis is currently facing, and Prince Brentwick is stuck between a rock and a hard place, inside an inferno. This garden, though, has taken great care to blend in and work with their community instead of drawing unnecessary attention. Their domain is safe, secure, and more importantly, supported. Nestled off of Tower Grove Park, the Painted Garden serves as an artist commune dedicated to maintaining the communal beauty of the historic Shaw neighborhood it resides in. The fact this nest of Bahari are just a few short miles away from Elysium is lost on Prince Brentwick, and our Laka here like it that way. So tonight we will begin with this being a fresh night and some rouse checks for our vampires. Okay, Doriana's good. And Erica went up one, and Minerva is rolling. So there was no feeding after last night's ritual. So your hunger remains the same as it was from the previous session. So Minerva has gotten hungrier. And I believe everyone, all of the kindred here, would have been at Hunger 2 after the final ritual, if my math is correct. Yes?
That's what I thought. Yeah.
Yep. So we've got Erica at Hunger 3 and Minerva at Hunger 3 now. Alrighty. So, Erica. The sun sets, and you have that clawing thirst in your throat. This is the part of you that maybe craves the lash a little too much, both giving and receiving. And it's hungry. And it is going to need sated sooner rather than later. And Minerva, you awaken a little differently than your sisters in the garden due to certain aspects of your physiology. You mostly become aware of settling into your form. There's a cold clinical separation between you and your hunger, but you feel it. Your flesh needs feeding. And there are several ways you can go about this, some of which you have ready and prepared for a little demonstration later. But, Mort, with you being a ghoul, you do not have to rouse. We do, there is a standard 30-day rollover. You have to be fed at least once during that 30-day window. You haven't fed for a little bit, but you've got some time before you're going to have to come crawling and begging. What did Mort do after the ritual last night? After the kindred retired for day sleep, what did Mort do?
I don't think there'd be anything really exciting, specifically that day, where after the day sleep happened, I wanted to make sure that the garden was locked down correctly, because I gotta sleep when they sleep. It's like having a new kid. So so I make sure it's all locked down, do any type of administrative work, pay the bills, drop stuff off, collect the mail, whatever. And as soon as we get all the administrative stuff done, I would have done some personal stuff like walking around, make sure there's enough food for me in the garden.
Taking care of the artists in residence, making sure that their needs have been seen to as well.
Yeah, just making the place run. And
yeah, Mort's a busy guy.
No.
How many? When exactly did Mort go to sleep? This is a very important question that a lot of people overlook when it comes to ghouls. The ghouls have to sleep sooner or later.
No, they do, and it's typically I typically expect it to be around 10ish a.m. to about 4ish p.m. is typically when he's asleep.
Yep, you get all the banking done right from the get go. There you get all your civil needs.
Wake up in time to find out if anything has happened during the day. If I need to brief Dory on anything that would have happened or needs her attention, so that way she can bring it to the other sisters.
The news that you've been kind of keeping tabs on lately speaks to an increase in domestic abuse cases throughout the city, and it's a weird statistical spike. It's no secret to the kindred, though, that this is this is the work of a Camarilla masquerade cover-up. There's a kindred behind this, and Mort's been paying attention for anything that pops up on the news. It's been relatively quiet, Mort, but you do have some more information on something relatively high profile involving a police officer. And
so explain more to that. Like, what do I know? Like, is there, because we've got step one, that there's an increased spike in a specific demographic of domestic violence. What's step two that gets me to Cam?
Well, the step two here is the fact that the sisters are aware, and so you are aware by osmosis.
Got it.
That there is a kindred behind this increase in, just, we'll say,
are the victims kindred?
No.
Okay.
No. The victims are more of a smokescreen for the actual kindred shenanigans that are going on. This is the work of the Camarilla. The news reports are it can be seen as they're kind of Prince Brentwick's last ditch effort to try to keep his sheriff in line. Sheriff Ubier is saying he's unhinged for a Malkavian says a lot. And it just so happens that he is now Bishop Jehozaba's poster boy for the Church of Cain. And he's been given a lot of latitude. And the sentiment on the street is that it's only a matter of time before someone steps in. And whether it's going to be someone else within the church or someone else within the Camarilla, St. Louis is getting hot. And the Cam doesn't like it.
The church? You mean what church?
The Church of Cain.
Got it.
Yep. So Mort, you will know that there was that high profile, and there's nothing on the surface to show that these are like a connected, like a serial thing. These are all just random events. But the kindred know. It's the cracks in the masquerade are starting to become more and more evident as the nights continue.
I'd like to talk to one of these people if they're willing, or at least find somebody who is willing to talk.
Okay. You know what? We could actually that's gonna be your side quest later.
Okay.
I like that. We'll do that later. So
I put it on my agenda after 4:00. Go find somebody.
Mm-hmm. Well, this will be while the sisters are off doing their thing. Because remember, you are not allowed to continue on where they need to go. So this will be the perfect time for you to split off.
Okay.
To do that later on in the night. Okay. So now after Mort's seen to the his getting ready routine, he does check in with Dory. So Dory, what does Mort find when he calls upon you at the start of the night?
Not that it would matter, but when she goes to gets ready for day sleep, she does take all her makeup off. So she is definitely at a pretty large vanity, a huge mirror in this dark mahogany wood with tons of little drawers. And she's just got an array of makeup there. And she's probably just in the mirror, probably almost done with her face at this point. So she's just kind of sitting there, and she probably has a bit of music playing in the background.
Okay. So Mort, knocks on the door, enters the chamber. And Mort, you can go ahead and say good evening to your dom.
Good evening, Dory, Dominic. You look stunning even without makeup.
Oh, that's nice of you to say. You're going to make me delusional, though.
I don't think so. I think I'll just keep you woken up.
Well, and she sets down her stuff, and she kind of comes up to Mort and gives him like some air kisses on the cheek, and kind of will sit down behind her desk, and she's got all sorts of books and scrolls and like random bits of like organic things like dirt and plant matter and all manner of stuff, and the office has that familiar smell, a little patchouli, a little sandalwood, kind of like Mort vibes with maybe a bit of lavender as well. So she is kind of flitting around doing stuff, and she'll look at him. Tomorrow during the day, I do need some more poppy seeds, and go to that organic store. It's like really small. Go to that one and just get a bunch in bulk for tomorrow. Okay.
Notes.
I think I have everything set for this evening. And she kind of gives him a wry smile at that point. Did Mother Wren come to see you?
She did. I was going to talk to you about that.
I thought she might.
She appreciated my piece on the wall, and she was very forthcoming. I wouldn't call it sweet, but definitely accepting and genial toward me.
I'm glad to hear it. And I'm glad she can recognize the talent that you have.
Well, it was a very big moment for me. I mean, it was just seeing somebody very big in the church, very big in the movement, and taking even a kindred taking a small interest in what I have to offer. And
she and Dory shakes her finger. Kindred? No, we are Laka.
Laka. My apologies.
We shun Cain in all his forms, which includes that term. Don't let me hear it again.
Of course not.
And she sort of like comes immediately out of that stern, like right back out of that stern demeanor, just like bounces back to like this kind of warm smile. Now, I don't know how long we'll be gone exactly, but proceed as normal here. Make sure when I get back my dagger is laid out for me in the ritual space. Actually, no, just leave it on my desk. Just bring me the dagger, make sure it's polished up, ready to go.
Okay.
Wonderful. And I know Mother Wren is very particular. We have different aesthetics, her and I. So next time, we'll find something nice for you to wear when she comes by.
That's great. That fills me with joy.
Good. Maybe I'll make something for you. Yes. Get some feathers from the craft store. Well, I think that will be all. Await our return. And I'll miss you.
I'll miss you.
I like
too.
When you're around.
Just so that you know, I have heard a few things concerning the spike, the recent spike in domestic abuse cases, and I wanted to look further into it. There may be fertile ground for spreading the message among those.
Leave that to us.
Should I find more information?
No, in terms of the message
Oh
of
no,
Lilith.
of course not the message. I'm only doing.
Okay.
I'm only gathering information.
Good. Yes, that would be good for you to gather information while we're out. Who knows what you might find, but please be careful.
Of course.
All right. Now, if you will please fetch Erica for me, and then after that, please see Minerva in the basement.
Of course.
Okay. Bye, Morty.
Have fun.
So Mort makes his way to Erica's room here inside the painted garden. So what does Mort find when he calls upon Erica? Brushing her hair.
Door is cracked open a little bit, and she's just trying not to think about how hungry she is right now.
I knock on the door.
Hello, Mort.
Hello, Madam Todd, and I kind of put my answer.
Oh yes, you may.
Okay.
Forgive me
That's
if I don't look at
inside.
you directly. I'm rather starving, and I'm afraid if I look at you, you might be a little bit too tempting.
Thank you for the warning. I will keep my distance.
Thank you.
Madam Todd, Madam Doriana is requesting your presence. I can show you the way if you like.
Yes, please do.
Okay.
And
Way.
She keeps a very good distance between Mort, and she's just gonna
And
she kind of
Mort
just
is
follows his
deliberate.
scent, essentially,
Yeah.
just like, okay, there he is, cool. Don't make eye contact.
And Mort knocks on Dory's chamber yet again, and to hand off, as it were, Erica to his mistress.
Enter.
Madam Dory, Mistress Todd is here to see you.
Oh, very good. Thank you so much, Morty.
If I may be of further assistance, please summon me.
I will.
Please
Okay.
excuse me.
And
Should he close the door on his way out?
Oh, yes, please. Please close the door.
Of course.
Okay. So Mort will close the door behind him. We will continue Mort's journey here in a second down to check in with Minerva. We will keep our attention here in Dory's room for just a moment while her and Erica have their little chat. And I promise you all the scene with Minerva will definitely be worth the wait.
You called, sister.
Yes, I just wanted to see how you were feeling after the ritual and what your thoughts were.
I consider myself, well, blessed is probably not the word I'm looking for, but humbled. Very much so. Not sure what too much of the stereotype of my clan that I was brought into or when I was originally embraced tend to be prideful, very money driven, very self-centered. I am part of something much greater than just my individual need. I am part of something that will grow and will flourish. I'm honored, flattered, humbled, all of these things.
And Dory sort of like looks off like into the distance for a second, especially when Erica is talking about her clan. And she kind of says, Yes, the I'm sorry, the clan of kings. They it's all so superficial. And their whole obsession with power and dominance and money, it's just because they're weak and insecure. They know deep down where their power comes from. There's always that little tickle at the back of their brain, I think. And they do all that what to prevent their own suffering and remain ignorant their entire life. Pathetic. But
What's more, the women who are involved in my clan as well are nothing more than fodder or accessories to most of the things of my observation anyways. I've had to be ruthless. I've had to be not necessarily cutthroat. I didn't have to do that as of yet, but I've had to really pull my own and really stick it to them where it needed to be stuck. If you know what I mean.
Certainly. And I know what you mean. Being a rose myself, the women can also just be pretty trinkets in a box, tethered to some unworthy Cainite as a prize, as a trophy, just like the daughters of Eve. But you've been here now, you've been learning from me, from Minerva. You've taken in the lessons. I've taught you the Oath of Lilith. I've read to you from Revelations. But one question remains. Now that your blood has been spilt here too, that I must know. And at that, if she was looking wistful before, she's now like intensely gazing into your eyes. And she comes up and sort of puts her hands on your shoulders. Tell me about your greatest moment of suffering. And tell me what you learned.
My greatest moment was I was not even a month freshly embraced. And for an arrangement, let's say, I had to, as it were, play my part. I was to be a distraction. I was to be attractive, simpering, not talk and know more about business than, say, another of my clan did. Quite proud of myself, and I would say you'd be quite proud too. I never thought I could almost consider myself that of the rose, but that night I could. But that night a hard lesson was definitely learned. The one who sired me into this world, I had developed a bond with. She was strong, she was powerful, she was absolutely admirable. Unfortunately, she was betrayed by her own men while I was busy off of my own mission trying to help her try to seize control, try to seize power, tries to seize dominion over small part and section. It's the burbs. Who even wants that area anyway? Gentrification's already ruined the world as it is anyway. Ugh. I digress. I learned very hard that day that my connection to someone that I admire or someone I highly respect is both my strength and my weakness. I'm not to lean too hard on the crutch, lest it break.
And I wouldn't have brought you here if I didn't think that you could be an independent force of your own. Yes, we are all sisters here under Lilith, but we have our own lives. Inner, external, where we have desires of our own. And just like Lilith subsides into shadow, reemerges, goes back into the enveloping darkness, so too do our own personal desires wax and wane. But you know the greater picture, which is service to Lilith and never missing an opportunity to learn from the pain we experience or the pain that we give unto others. Right now, you are the serpent. You are in the first cycle. You are ascending to godhood, just as Lilith did. And I am the dragon. I'm in the midst of the tempest. My face is obscured, spreading the lessons of my turmoil, and then shrouding my own self in mystery, so that my enemies will writhe in agony, but they'll never see my face. So take heed. There is suffering to come for all of us. And we should look at it and submit to that suffering. And remember that sometimes a lighter touch is required. I'm eager to see how you will fare in our outing tonight. I'm looking forward to seeing your power at work.
I don't know what to say. I'm truly... I will do everything that I can, not just to impress you, but to prove that your decision was not made in error.
And at that moment, Dory gets even closer to her and sort of embraces her very gently. And I'm not sure if Erica would realize this or kind of see this, but you can see Dory, her fangs come out and she sort of like hovers over you, just like.
Is there any way of sensing that there, storyteller?
Wits and awareness or intel and insight, whatever one is higher out of those.
Do I make a roll as well?
If you're trying to actively conceal you having this instinctual reaction, that would be composure and performance. Otherwise, yeah, it's going to be hard to cover up.
Sorry, it was wits and awareness or
intel and insight.
Intel and insight.
I'm not going to roll.
Okay.
Wits and awareness it is.
Okay.
I should probably mention to her that I need to eat too. That's a lot of red dice. 3 successes.
Yeah, you definitely It's clear as day.
Sister, I wish to make a request before our evening, and she not so much rudely puts an arm out, but she kind of raises an arm gently onto hers, just giving her a grip and just kind of squeezing a little bit, just like, hey.
Yes, your request.
I do not believe we have properly fed after the ritual last night, and speaking only of myself, I'm quite young, as it were, but I do wish to be at my full strength before I venture out into night with the two of you. I'm hoping that maybe a bit of a hunt beforehand would be in the cards, hopefully.
Yes. We do want to be with a full clear head, though there is something about the needling of the beast that I enjoy in moderation.
I feel that at the state that I'm at right now, I'm not as clear-headed as I want to be, but especially after your lesson just now, I wouldn't want the suffering to completely be vanished from my body. But I do need a clearness of mind.
Yes. Yes, I'll arrange it. There are plenty of vessels around here. I'm sure that you can find in the manner that you desire. And Storyteller, I'm pretty sure from hanging out with her, I would know her predator type and how to like.
Oh yes.
Okay, I thought so. I just want to make sure.
Especially given the closeness that you all would share due to the education. Yeah, you would know Erica's surface personae very, very well, including how she hunts.
Okay.
And if you would like a clarification of what that is, I don't mind saying it as well.
Yeah,
it's worded in a very good way that y'all can take it how you will. That is folks who have experienced pain or pleasure through pain.
Great. Yeah, this will be good. The mortals here are in good company for that, I believe. So it shouldn't be a problem. And Storyteller, we can sort of figure out how we're going to do that. But I think Dory will just say, yes, we'll all gather our strength and make this a success to please Mother Wren and grow our power. I'll see you momentarily.
Of course. She gives herself sort of the once over, does a little bit of a turn for her, like she's in sort of a. You think she has like a ton of these things, and I'm pretty sure she does. Little black dress, fishnets, and knee-high boots. Her hair is down and sort of curled as it is right now. I'm just, sort of going for Doriana's kind of like opinion.
Oh, okay. And Dory will. I believe that our tastes are in alignment. Wouldn't you agree?
And gives Dory a head to toe in it and goes, I like to think so.
Yes.
And so the two kindred will go about their business, with Dory having given Erica not quite a word-for-word recitation from the Revelations of the Dark Mother, but it was paraphrased so Erica can get the message. But now, as promised, we will shift our attention down to the basement. Now, Minerva, when we kind of covered what happened when you arose from your day sleep. But there's always that bit of disconnect before you finally settle in. And one of the last things you hear before you fully gain your consciousness for the night is the sound of a woman shrieking out in the dark, screaming, "He closed it. I can't believe it. He closed it." But then everything comes clear. And Minerva has has some special preparations that she's made down here tonight. What's the room look like before Mort comes a knocking?
The room is essentially, it's kind of dark. She doesn't use typical like electric lights and stuff like that. She has a lot of candles, some lanterns lit. It's dark. It looks like what you would see in like a horror movie basement. There's probably sounds of dripping water that can be heard somewhere just beyond where the light touches that you can't quite see, but you can hear it. You can probably hear the sounds of something scurrying about. Again, just where the light can't touch. Just there. You can hear it. You just can't quite see it. Maybe occasionally if you were to look really, really hard, you might see something kind of in a fog, but it's gone just as quickly as you try to focus on it. There's an altar in the center, and then there's also like, and it's made out of stone, and then there is a few like little shelves and some like kind of counter-ish work spaces. There are books about everywhere of clearly different ages. Some of them look very old, and some of them look newer. It's hard to tell. There's vials of stuff everywhere, like different colors, different amounts, different sizes and shapes. Anything that's written on them, you're not going to be able to read. It's all in Latin. And yeah, there is a place kind of off in the back, and there's chains that hang from the walls, and there is, in one spot near some of those chains, there is what looks like a curtain that is pulled closed, in the very, very back as well.
Okay. Yep. In the Zoom chat, Leatherface over here. Very. This is. Yes. I'm loving the basement. This is. I'm loving Minerva's murder basement. This is great stuff. So Mort. Now maybe Mort avoids going down to the basement as much as possible, or maybe he's into Minerva's murder basement. I don't know. But he knows that his mistress has sent him down here for a reason. He's not sure why. But he makes his way down the steps. He knocks on the closed heavy oak wooden door.
She says nothing. She is continuing. She does not say a word. She just continues about what she is doing.
Okay. And Mort can hear her moving about, and he kind of just assumes it's okay to enter. So, do we lose him again? I think we lost him again.
Yeah, it's back and forth. Like, I'll be honest with you, I've caught very little of the setup here. So. Okay.
All right, so I'll give you the. Okay, we'll jump in again here. Did you catch most of like Sam's description though?
Not really. I caught about 2 minutes of it.
Murder basement.
Okay, murder basement.
horror. Oh, yeah, very spooky, haunted horror murder basement.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So, okay, let's jump back in. Where I pop my back. Okay. All right. All right. So, Mort has come calling. Mort, you knock on the door, and there is no answer from Minerva. You do hear her moving about, but Mort knows that if he's been sent here, he should probably go in, even if she's not acknowledging his presence. But
Still making my presence known. Knock,
Yeah.
knock, knock, knock.
Yeah.
I hear somebody moving.
and you
I before I open the door, I'm just like, Mistress Minerva, this is Mort. I've been sent by Dory.
She's turned slowly to look at you, and she's dressed how
I
she.
still haven't opened the door yet.
Oh, sorry.
I'm not walking into somebody's place until.
but you would he's
Eventually walk in.
Yeah.
Yeah. She doesn't say a word until you walk in. The moment
Okay.
you walk in, when you walk in, the door will creak, and she'll just turn slowly to look at you. And she's dressed like she normally dresses, with the pinstripe, the hat, the works, the gloves, and as much of herself covered, essentially, as she can. And she just kind of turns and looks at you, and she just says, "Shh." And then she points to the back wall. And what's on the back wall is you see, like, there's chains, different variations of chains lining the back walls and manacles and such. And then there's this one spot that has a curtain drawn over it. Now the curtain can go across the entire thing if she wants it to, but it is in this one spot. And she just walks over to it and she pulls it back, and locked against the wall is a person. Now, you don't know if they're human or kindred or what they are. There's just a person. They are bound and they are gagged.
I
And
think
she
he dropped again.
Yeah, I dropped. I heard. I heard pulled it back.
Yeah.
And then
So
I came back at bound and gagged.
Yes, she pulls back the curtain, and you see a person that is chained to the wall. Completely chained to the wall, and they are bound and gagged, and you don't know if they're kindred or if they're human or what the hell they are. You just see them there. And she looks at you again, and then she takes her hand and she pulls the glove off of one of them. And what you see when she pulls the glove off is her hand is very almost skeletal in a way. There's skin on it. There's not much more than like what would look like skin on top of a skeleton.
Would this be visible to the normal eye, or is this being picked up by my sense the unseen?
You can see it.
Okay.
If you did the sense the unseen, it has a glow to it.
I mean, it's always on. It's always on with you guys.
She always has a glow then to you,
Okay.
a weird in and out of existence kind of glow. But when she takes the glove off, her hand, it literally looks just like skin on top of a skeletal system, like a skeleton hand. And then she takes the other hand, the one with the claw-like nails, and she shoves it deep into the chest cavity of this person. And they make noises, obviously, but they're not going to be able to do much. And she rips out the heart.
Do I
And
need
then
a
she walks.
composure roll or something?
If you want to, go ahead and give me a willpower roll. Actually,
I mean,
that's a good. Oh yeah, give me a willpower roll.
I mean, I am squishy human.
Yes.
And
Give me a
she's
willpower
obviously
roll.
trying to tell me something without telling me something. I don't have to worry about hunger dice, right?
No.
Okay. I got a 4.
4 successes. You may be panicking inside, Mort, but you are able to hold it together. You if Minerva is trying to prove a point, you're not willingly physically showing it. You're just standing there just taking it all in, even though your brain might be screaming, we need to get the fuck out of this basement right now. You're still okay.
To be fair, that alarm is how I live in this place.
So yeah, she walks over and she has the heart in the one hand that still has a glove on it and the nails, and then she turns over the other hand that's skeletal and she sets the heart into it. And the moment that it touches her hand, it just starts to shrivel and rot and decay away right in front of you. Like, and then she points again to the corpse behind her. And if you have Sense the Unseen up, you will be able to see its actual spirit leave the body and manifest right in front of it. And as soon as it does that, she just turns and she opens her mouth and when she does that, it gets sucked right into her mouth.
Ooh, that's going to require another willpower roll. Told you all.
He's strong for Dory now.
Your leg is starting to shake, but you're able to.
Oh, I'm sure I'm exuding physical uncomfortableness now. Just my humanity alone. I'm like,
you're able to hang in there. You're able to hang in there. You are just.
And she's just like. And the wraith, like the spirit that was there, gets sucked into her, and it's gone. And the corpse kind of just lingers there. There's no life in it. There's nothing. It's almost like it's starting to decay a little bit in and of itself. And then she just turns to you and she just says, "Understand?" Good. Leave.
So
and she turns around and goes back to doing what she was doing.
I boot face and walk right out the room.
Mort.
When I get out of the room, I do mention behind my shoulder and say, "I serve the garden and you."
And maybe you go back to your own living quarters here, and you maybe
no,
need
it's time for me to be scarce.
You need to take a moment and maybe.
I'm punching out, letting Dory know where I'm going. We're taking a break.
But so the ladies have their final preparations that they are going to make before they go about where they need to go. Mother Wren off camera provided more information. Yes,
I forgot to mention the person that was chained was a guy. It was a male.
Okay.
Yes, I that's a really big point.
I thought. See, I kind of assumed that it would have been.
It was a guy.
See, I thought, yeah, that was. Very relative information. Damn. Oh God. So, anyways, the ladies can go about their final prep. I know Erica was wanting to hunt. What was Dory wanting to do before getting ready to leave? Were there any rituals that you were wanting to perform, maybe?
Not a ritual right now, but actually take some things with me for rituals to be done potentially out in the field, as it were. So I kind of have a satchel that I wear on just like a black belt. So I'll have the remainder of my poppy seeds.
Mm-hmm.
I will have my on a thigh strap. What is it called? It's a V42 stiletto knife.
Yep.
Maybe taken from a soldier once upon a time, maybe not. And that's pretty much let me just reference one more thing to make sure here. Oh no, I think that is all. That is all I need to take for the journey. And Dory is going to remain at Hunger 2.
Okay.
No feeding for Dory. So she'll just be getting all that stuff together in her office, checking her clothes and makeup before she goes. And then I imagine she kind of leaves her office and goes back to like that lounge area that you talked about last time. She probably goes there to sort of meet up with everybody.
All right. Now, as far as Erica's hunting is concerned, the coterie itself, no one put any dots into herd collectively. Correct? I don't believe anyone did. No. So, if you wanted to feed off of one of the artists in residence, Erica, you definitely can. This isn't going to be like a freebie, though. You are going to have to roll this off. Okay.
Of course.
So go ahead and, all right, you're a siren. Give me charisma and performance, or charisma and...
Hold on.
Yep.
Siren. Hold on.
I thought you were a siren. Oh, no, a Cyrus.
Scene Queen.
Or Scene Queen. Scene Queen. Yes, I'm sorry. Yeah. Scene Queen. Alright, you're not gonna be able to really feed off this group.
I mean,
here.
they're tormented, they're artists, but it's not pain. They can just get it out. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say, can't you just do that, but like roll willpower to feed against type?
Yeah,
that's true. Yeah.
So go ahead and roll roll willpower to feed against type to start.
All right.
Please don't kill my commune.
Oh God.
I did also roll for that Oblivion's touch, by the way, and I did not get hungry. I succeeded that. So.
Thank you.
I just wanted to make sure you knew that.
Yep. Thank you. And actually, Minerva, you can go ahead. You were at Hunger 2, or no, Hunger 3. Go ahead and you can bump down to Hunger 2. Yep. But that was...
I mean, ripping a chest out and eating his soul only slikes one?
She ate the Wraith, which doesn't give you a whole lot, and actually that hunger point comes back tomorrow night.
Oh,
yeah.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
4 successes.
Okay. So...
Your feeding is high maintenance.
Yeah.
My feeding is high maintenance, but then again, Minerva wins.
True. So... Erica, go ahead. You're gonna be able to. Yeah, these are the starving artists. They're not the rich elite that you usually roll with. So you're gonna be able to. Oh, you're slumming it. Go
Prefer
ahead.
not to shit where I eat either, but you know.
It's valid.
They're
point.
pretty though. Mm-hmm.
It's a phase. We all go through it.
Yep.
Yeah.
So go ahead and give me. You can go ahead and give me that charisma and performance, or charisma and
charisma and performance.
Okay.
Let's see what that is. Let's see what those are. Or what was the other ones again?
Either charisma and performance or charisma and etiquette.
Let's do that one.
Okay.
Etiquette. It's another 4 successes.
Okay. I'm
Getting
gonna.
a lot of 4s.
I'm gonna say that you are more than capable of finding a perfectly willing vessel here. I mean, it's kind of like publicly. I would imagine that the sisters who can at least go about in public with relative ease. I mean, Minerva can. It's just really difficult. Yeah, you all have kind of like that practical magic vibe going on in like the community, but the people who actually live there long term in the Painted Garden know kind of that there's some stuff that goes on, you know, at night behind closed doors, and Erica's able to find someone willing to participate in her particular feeding style, and maybe Dory can hear it. Minerva can't down in the basement. Mort is probably still disassociating in the bathtub, but otherwise, Erica, you can go ahead and you can go down to hunger 1 if you wish.
Perfect. That was the plan, just to still have 1 left over.
And so, Minerva, what preparations were you taking for the night's journey?
Well, after I did that lovely little display to get my point across, I would have made sure that I dispelled the corpse, gotten rid of it. It's not there anymore. And then I would have gathered what I'm going to need, if I'm going to need any elements for any rituals or anything of that sort, and pack them along with me to take with. But other than that, that's all the feeding that she intends to do tonight. Just the fact that she made a point and she did the thing, and she's good at the moment.
Okay. And
if she needs to eat later, she can eat somebody again. It's not a problem.
And so the three sisters have gathered in the lounge. They're going about discussing the plan for the night. Now, Mother Wren, the location that she is sending you is, and I'll go into more description when it's appropriate, but it's basically an old abandoned meat pack, or a slaughterhouse, actually. It's on the other side of the river. And the 3 of you were to meet up with 3 other Bahari. And they were going to have some information for you regarding the Church of Cain's next move in the city. And that was all the information that Mother Wren was really able to provide, or was willing to provide you. Was an address, the particulars of why you're going there, but that's basically it. So if the 3 of you wanted to have any last minute planning consultation before you set out, now would be the time to do so. And I would assume that everyone's kind of lounging in the lounge, and Mort's probably looking up the relevant contact information from one of the latest incidences for him to look into.
Getting poppy seeds.
And getting more poppy seeds, yes. So ladies, you can go ahead and have a little chill sesh here while we're rounding out the first half.
I do have a question.
Yeah.
Minerva, does Dory know that you did that? Does she know that you were planning that demonstration?
Probably not.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I was just wondering. I didn't know exactly.
Now-
So okay.
Now
That's fine.
you know that Minerva having bodies in the basement's not uncommon.
Yeah.
Oh
That-
yeah, no, Dory.
But as far as
Dory doesn't care. That's her business. That's her business.
But as far as as far as the particulars, we'll leave that blank.
Okay. That's fine. I just wanted to make sure I was coming at it from the correct perspective.
She
Eric,
feels like that Dory is too close to Mort.
Yeah,
and she
thinks I'm
doesn't
soft.
trust. She doesn't. You're not soft. She doesn't think you're soft to anybody else, like to nothing else. But to Mort, she thinks that's too. You've gotten too comfortable and too close with that. But she doesn't trust him. She's gotten too comfortable and too close to someone before, and it did not work out in her favor. So that's where she sees it. So like she's trying to protect you and the garden by essentially showing him what can be done should he betray you or any one of us. So yeah, she would not have gotten permission for that. She'd have just done it.
Alrighty. Yeah. Okay. I'm glad I know that. Erica, I think you were gonna say something.
Yes, in character, more or less. Are we familiar with who we're to meet at this location?
Other Bahari, I'm told, but other than that, I don't know their individual characteristics, so we should be prepared for anything.
And the that the region or the area in across the river, it's definitely one of those abandoned industrial spaces where the green has started to take over in spots. But as far as any like major like activity dayside, the place is pretty quiet even during the day, let alone the night. For more relative contact and for more relative information there.
I hope that they will provide reliable information. I'm sure Mother Wren would not steer us wrong, but I do hope that they're forthcoming. And if we know the church's next move, we can begin to move our pieces in the counterattack against them.
Or make some inconveniences.
I do like that too.
Both
Make
would be
things
probably
difficult.
preferable, I'm sure.
Than inconveniences. Mother Wren wants destruction. And
But remember, go ahead, sir.
Destruction is what we will do.
Of course, we're in agreement that they must be destroyed.
Of course.
But don't forget, Minerva and Erica both, if you simply destroy something entirely, if you wipe it from the face of the earth, send it into the depths, that's less pain you are able to inflict on them. And the pain comes before the lesson. They learn it, and then they perish.
Then let us teach them.
Yes, it's time.
And so with that, the sisters will go off into the night. Let's see here. I don't think we actually discussed how they would go, how they would actually travel. I would assume that Mort's probably in a position to where he could maybe drop them off and then go about his business.
Yes, please, Mort.
but
Chauffeur us.
So yeah, Mort knows that he needs to keep a safe distance from the location, but I think he could probably there's maybe a like a slightly older minivan that maybe the painted garden has for, it's like a company vehicle. And it's used for
definitely
hauling groceries or other odds and
I've got resources, okay?
But yeah, no, Mort would know that he's got to keep a safe distance from the location. But yeah, he would definitely take the coterie in the communal vehicle and drop them off. And then he would go about the errands, and then the sisters would notify him when it was time to be picked up. And actually now we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna take our intermission, and we will pick back up in about 5 minutes with the second half. So stretch, check your posture, get some hydration in your system. We'll be right back. And welcome back. So, our Laka are going about their business, and Mort has his own personal errands that he's going to be seeing to. We will pick up with the Laka, of course. Now, when we left our group, Mort was loading them up in the minivan here that the group has as a communal thing for their domain, and was taking them across the river into a abandoned industrial area. And as I said previously, it's a mix of new growth, old dilapidated buildings, but across the river, in a snarl of trees and abandoned industrial blight, sits the old Armor meatpacking plant, which was once the second largest slaughterhouse in the country. Now, in real life, the old facility was falling apart when Armor donated the building to St. Louis, and they let it stay abandoned, and it became an urbex, or urban explorer, hotspot. The city of St. Louis, in real life, did tear the place down in 2016, but this is the world of darkness, and we can do whatever the hell we want. And in this case, the rotting hulk of concrete, rust and snarled plant growth. Every year, foolhardy explorers and dumb teenagers disappear, and the city makes a token gesture to keep people away, but nothing ever seems to be done about it. The ground wants it that way. But, Mort, you drop the ladies off, maybe with a good luck or a have fun.
Yeah, but not so much hubris. It's like, rather than going to run my errands, I'm going to be close in case something goes wrong. If if something goes horribly wrong, I'm not going to be the reason why they can't make it out of there.
Understood.
I will say Minerva, as she is exiting the vehicle, she just shoots him a look. And it's probably one of the only times that you will see her kind of give a half smile. And then she continues to go. Because every other time she is just stone cold, expressionless.
I love this.
And Mort, you'll notice that Erica definitely is more full on looking at you in the eye, as opposed to before when she was like just avoiding your presence in general, and gives some like flippant little thing of just like, oh, just stay out of trouble now.
I meet your gaze, half smile.
And does Dory have any parting words for her ghoul?
Yes. She's getting out the car, and in sort of this graceful movement, in her little kind of witchy belt that she wears, she pulls out a tiny compact, and she's like looking at her lipstick, and she sort of looks out of the corner of her eye this morning. She's like, "Don't do anything I wouldn't do."
Never. For Lilith.
Of course. Take care.
And Mort left the car running, turns it around, the headlights pan across. You catch pieces of old dilapidated brickwork, fallen metal catwalks. And
I didn't drop them off at the front door of the den, right?
No.
Okay.
No.
I'm not like announcing by having my headlights on or anything.
No.
Okay.
No, but it's off in the glimpses of the new growth that.
Sure.
Yeah. So the moon tonight is, we'll say, not quite half to waning quite yet. So there's still a little bit of light out. And as you approach, your beasts become more and more uneasy and on edge. Maybe your fangs instinctively pop out. But then, as you draw closer, it's as if your beasts are tentatively reaching out, as if they're trying to greet an old friend. But the night grows dark and heavy, and even though you aren't breathing, as you get up to the outer periphery of the buildings here, you can still catch the whiff of old rendering and old blood that has soaked into the ground and turned it black. Go ahead here. Everyone, give me a wits and insight or intelligence and investigation, whichever one of these is higher.
I would also like to activate heightened senses with hearing.
Okay, go ahead and give yourself a bonus die.
Okay. You said wits and insight or intel and investigation.
Yep.
I have a specialty in kindred. Will that apply?
No.
Okay.
Okay.
One success.
Okay.
I got 3.
Okay.
4.
4. Alright, so Minerva and Dory. You two catch this. Erica, you're still taking in the night, and you're maybe a little more defensive than Minerva and Dory. This isn't your normal scene. But Minerva, Dory, in the dark, you see glowing red eyes. 2, 4, 6. And then these shapes break off from the darkness. And we'll say a relatively safe distance away, the two of you see 3 large black wolves break apart from the darkness. Drool is hanging down from their jaws, and they pad across the tainted earth and draw near. They approach, and then they just stand there on all
Do I
fours.
see them now?
Now you do, as they break off from the shadow, but you didn't catch the dramatic entrance. You do eventually. It's like Dory and Minerva saw the wolves coming before you even realized that they were there.
What do you make of this?
And Dory will actually take one step forward. Just one.
Okay.
And she'll say, when I first tasted the light of the moon, felt its glow in my womb and its wild tenderness, I swore that day to walk in night. And waits for some kind of response.
The 3 wolves don't necessarily huddle together, but you see the 3 of them draw closer, and you get chuffs and snarls, a whimper or two here or there. And then the 3 wolves each separate And it's almost as if they're squaring off, but they're still maintaining their distance. But each one of them are lining up directly across from either of you. And then together, you start to hear crunching, snapping. And then the wolves start to twist and contort. Snarls. Screams, even. But then, through the molding of flesh and fur into hair and skin, stand 3 women. Each of them are naked in the moonlight. They're all covered in various scars and tattoos. Some of the scars appear to be from combat. And I think the 3 of you would recognize stab wounds. Intentional scarification. The oldest is a Caucasian woman. She's got short, graying hair. We'll say her hair just goes down just below her ears in a little short bob. But she looks at you, Dory. And she just crosses her arms. Will you speak the mother's words? I suppose you 3 leeches are welcome here.
Leeches. Haven't heard that many years. But I suppose not inaccurate.
And the one across from you, Erica, say you'd place her early 20s, smooth, relatively smooth, brown skin. She's the youngest of the 3. She's not as marked as the other 2. But she kind of stalks off to the side of you. She's not approaching, but she's kind of sizing you up. You would recognize the beginning of a flanking maneuver if you know, it's got the makings of one. The fact that she's the only one moving so far seems to be okay, but she's... This one's new. Ish.
Not leeches.
I keep my eyes on the pup.
And
not leeches. Liberators.
And then the third one, she's Caucasian, long red hair down to the middle of her back. Say mid-30s. Liberators. Well, the only thing that is keeping the 3 of you safe is the fact that we serve the mother. Who sent you here?
Mother Wren.
Dory, yours lowers her arms and she draws closer. I know Mother Wren. We talk. We speak. I can smell her on you. What'd she send you for?
She said that you have information on the next move of that wretched church.
And Erica, your partner, she actually starts laughing. Look, one set of licks fighting another set of licks is all well and good. But since it's them, I suppose we could make an exception. And Minerva, your partner, she seems very hesitant to approach you, and she's actually kind of staring at you intently. This one's different. Take a look. And the other two actually circle over to Minerva. They're still, like I said, they're keeping. They're trying to. If anyone's going to be causing a fracas here, they're making sure that they're not going to be making the first move. They're keeping a safe distance of engagement here with the three of you, but yeah.
Erica's sort of gonna rotate as she watches her partner, as it were, just circles around now to there, and
Okay.
just has this like look of like just blank expression.
What do you see?
And then Minerva, your partner's head tilts the other way. Death, but cleaner. It's not tainted like the other two. You smell cleaner.
We are all here for the mother. Are we not? What does it matter?
And the three of them kind of look at each other. They've been together long enough as a pack that they don't even need to speak out loud to be able to hold each other's counsel. They break away and they take up a more casual stance in front of the three of you. Dory, your partner, she steps forward. My name's Thorn. I suppose you can call me Mother Thorn if we're sticking with the niceties as much as we need to. So, Mother Wren sent you.
Yes. I'm glad to meet you, Thorn. I am Doriana, Mother Thorn.
Well, as my sister was keen to point out, we don't particularly care what group of leeches is killing another group of leeches, but this serves a purpose that the mother... her need is more important than the racial tensions and biases. At least for now. This is the last time the three of you will step foot in our garden.
so be it. Her needs and desires supersede all. We can both agree on that. And it is my personal goal and desire to eliminate these enemies of the Dark Mother.
Erica, the one that was partnered up with you, she's actually making as if to approach in a more friendly manner. She's still not quite or she's a little more an arm's reach away, but her posture's loosened quite a bit. And I'm Leia, and exactly how old are you? Erica.
How old do you think I am?
You've been dead for 10 years? 5?
Here we are. About 6.
Okay. And so you're pushing what, 40, 35 then?
But don't look a day over 30, I'm sure.
Oh, of course not. And
Leia, was it?
yeah, Leia. And then Minerva, yours. And I'm a Sky. And we've got some information that the spirits have saw fit to pass on to me. They see things going on across the river that they don't like. And the spirits that we commune with here are a different sort than what we get in the city. These are... She looks at the ground, kind of snarls. This land is sour. And the spirits are with it. The mother has saw fit that we need to try to reclaim this place. And every once in a while we are forced to play nice with our sisters who might be a little more dead than we're willing to deal with. And then Thorn, she looks you over Dory. Now, I know how your kind plays their game. We've got information, but it's going to come at a cost. Are you willing?
Naturally.
The sordid topic of coin.
No, it's...
Or favors in this case, maybe.
It's favors. I was born a wolf. I don't need money. I can't speak for my other sisters, but I'm perfectly fine going down on all fours and disappearing into the woods and never seeing a city again. I don't need money.
You miss out on so many fine things.
And I, for one, go down on all fours for no other reason. So, for that, we have that in common.
You just had to
Minerva will give Erica a glare. Just.
And
What is it you want, Wolf?
Ooh. Hold on a second.
No.
They have stats.
Hashtag oops.
And I oop.
Yeah, her you could tell that she didn't like that, and her head snaps over towards you, and you see her muzzle almost start to form and her canines lower, but she pulls it back. It was just a flash. We need some of your kind killed. Do you think you can do that for us? On top of seeing those Church of Cain sons of bitches laid low?
If they are children of Cain, then they will die.
Without prejudice.
Okay. So, the kindred that I want to see dead. He goes by the name of Marty. He's a flesh peddler. Runs some of the rougher sections of the west side of town. I want him dead.
May I ask, what exactly is meant by flesh peddler?
Leia looks over at you. A pimp.
Gotcha.
Let's see here. Do any of you kindred have any dots in Streetwise?
I do. I have one.
Okay. Okay, though, let's see here. Go ahead, and you two can go ahead and roll intel and Streetwise for me, please.
Okay.
Yeah, Streetwise is not relevant for Minerva.
No, I don't imagine so.
We need you to go into the abyss and talk to Charon for us. Could you do that for us, please?
Totes can do that. That is on the list of things that I can do. If you need Streetwise from, like, I don't know, like the 1400s, 1600s, something like that, I can totally do those. But, current Streetwise, not really my game.
So Erica and...
I got 3.
Yep. Erica and Doriana. The three of you know the kindred that she's talking about. Marty, or as his real name, Martinius, is, yeah. He is a member of the Church of Set. This kindred is not unknown to you, and we will flesh him out later on. But I will provide you off camera with the relevant information when he becomes relevant. But yes, so the two of you know who she's talking about and are able to proceed with that information.
I imagine that Dory and Erica share a knowing glance at that moment about, like, oh boy, Marty, like.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, Erica's eyes noticeably raised at the expression pimp, and as well as followed by a confident ah.
Mm-hmm.
And will you tell me how he has trespassed against you so that I can make it more painful?
And you see Sky actually nod at you. She's been kind of keeping her distance from you, Dory, but she's okay. Yeah, all right. This one gets it. This one gets it. And
surely you can smell. I've walked this earth for many years.
And Leia actually gets up real close to you, Dory. And she starts, like, sniffing around in your hair. I smell a man on you.
Minerva is very, it is very kind of obvious that she is paying very close attention to this encounter. Like, she is on alert.
Mm-hmm. Care to explain that, sister?
I've said it to my sisters before. I'll say it here. Lilith has many tools. There are men that attend the altars of Kali, and all of the feminine figures that have walked in Lilith's shadow. They are our servants. And so they stay around as long as they are useful. And he is useful to me.
And she steps back. Well, it was smart of Mother Wren not to send your servant around a pack of black furies. That would have ended badly for him. And you all can go ahead and roll intelligence and occult for that.
I don't believe this is Bahari related, so I don't think I get a
No.
specialty bonus for this.
No.
Okay.
Okay.
That character Rose knows exactly about the Black Furies.
Yes. So Erica's got 2.
I am going to spend a willpower right now.
9, but 2 of those were crits.
Okay. So we got a crit on Minerva's. And Dory, what do you got?
Man, I got 2.
Okay, so those of you with
Not good.
2 know that the Black Furies are they're a werewolf pack, and they tend to be all female. That's all you know. Minerva, you know that the Black Furies are a werewolf pack. They are all universally female or female presenting. And they see men as a literal plague upon the planet. They are an affront to Gaia. And every single one of them needs to be killed.
How, on the scale of like Garu hating kindred versus hating men, like how does that compare? Do they hate them both equally, or is there like a
they just like the Bahari, there are differing camps within the Black Furies.
Sure. Okay, that's fine. I was just curious. Out of character, I don't know anything about this, so I'm interested.
No, there would be some Black Furies that agree with Doriana's position, and there will be some Black Furies that will agree with Minerva's position.
Fair enough.
Yes. And when Minerva hears them say that, which I'm sure she probably had an idea anyway, she's been around a long time, at least part of her has been around a long time. She's just going to look at that one, and she's just gonna Furies understand.
True. So, you kill this kindred for us? We'll let you know when the next Church of Cain ritual is going down. And when both Bishop Yehoshua and Sheriff Ubier are going to be in attendance. And every Church of Cain kindred in the city is going to be at that ritual. And all you have to do is kill a leech for us.
And who will mourn Marty? Who will miss him?
It depends. I'm sure there's going to be kindred who will miss his services that he provides, and that's one of the reasons why he deserves to die.
Why can't you do it?
We can. This is just how things are going to work. You want the information? This is what it's going to cost. This is how you leeches do business on a nightly basis. Then you'd be used to it.
Outright killing? There's very little class to it, if you ask me.
I don't care how. I don't care. Oh, you go ahead, Sam.
No, go ahead. She was just gonna say, you know so little about us than you realize.
And Thorn's going to kind of raise her hand up. All right. This is clearly running out of road. So, you agree to the terms? She looks over at you, Dory.
Yes, we agree. He will die.
By tomorrow night. Or by the tomorrow night sunrise.
Fine. It'll be enough time for him to receive some education, I suppose.
Make it count.
I always do. And Dory sort of gives a look over them, kind of as this like natural conclusion is coming to the interaction. And she almost starts to walk away and turn her back, but she looks back at Thorn specifically. Would you indulge a question from a leech?
It depends on what you ask. There's no harm in asking, and then we'll see what happens.
It's purely personal for me.
Continue.
The transformation that you undergo,
Yes.
how much does it hurt?
And she smiles wide. It is exquisite, sister.
I'm almost envious. In any case, it will be done. How shall we report to you to confirm his destruction?
We'll know when he's dead. And then we will give you the information.
All right then.
You don't have to lift a finger other than seeing him ashed. We'll take care of the rest.
We have an accord then.
That we do. And now we'll go ahead and we'll pivot over to Mort to finish out the last half of this episode. Mort,
really sorry to interrupt, Pat. Really quick. If we're separating ways, Erica's going to hang back a little bit, maybe sort of siding towards Leia.
Yeah.
And she just gives her a wink and says, "By the way, it's Erica," and walks away.
And she just kind of... Okay. She goes and joins her sisters. All right.
No one else gave our names, so hey, fine.
Oh, that's true. That is true. Yes.
I said my name.
Well, no, like
I did not say my name.
Yeah. No, Dory was the only one who actually introduced herself to the licks or to the werewolves.
Minerva makes it a point to literally usually not state her name. She will, if she says anything about being Minerva, she'll say that she's called Minerva or something like that. She doesn't ever actually say, my name is Minerva.
That seems on brand.
Oh, very much.
Sorry, carry on.
Very much. But all right, so Mort, you've dropped off your mistresses for their business. you go about getting the poppy seeds as Dory requested, and it's simple business enough. But now comes the fun part of your night, when you get to let loose a little bit. You can help out your mistress with a little, we'll say, independent initiative. Go about this however you want. She gave you no instruction. You've got certain particular ways you like working. You've got a name and an address, mostly because it was a high-profile arrest. As I said, it was a pretty high-ranking police officer. So the open source intelligence is you're able to find the house easily enough. You do see a light on in the living room. There does appear to be someone home. There's it's a attached garage. There's no cars in the driveway, but you can tell that the light's on and there is someone moving in the house. How are you gonna go about doing this here, sir?
I never really intended to go find her at the house. I don't think a man or anybody showing up at the front doorstep unannounced to somebody that's recently undergone this type of violence will lead to anything other than mistrust or whatever. Mm-hmm. So I really don't think there's anything I can say.
Okay.
What I intended to do...
Oh, yes.
What I intended to do was get in contact with John Coffin.
Oh, okay.
And see if there is anything or anybody that he has come to him with something. And then I would be deputized in such a way to become a grief counselor of some sort. Just to get it's convoluted. Yeah. But if that doesn't work at all, I do have Streetwise. And so I would at least be able to pick up the scent of somebody who may have been in the same scene that I usually roll in.
Understood.
Or something. So like I could always hear like, somebody, or at least know where they are, or just get more information. Like personal contact with them out of the blue without some sort of sponsor seems like it's a dead end to me.
I'm double checking one thing here in regarding John Coffin. Just a moment. I'm trying to just refresh my brain. Just a moment.
I have him as contact. I don't know what that means.
Oh no, I know he. I've got the notes here. I've got
okay.
What he was. Yeah.
Oh, I can go into further.
Oh no, I've got John's info here.
Okay.
So, but we could still say that you got the open source intel. You know where, yeah. Okay. But you do get a hold of John. Where do you want to meet John at?
I will meet John at a all-night deli or restaurant or taco stand, I don't care, close to his parish.
Gotcha. All right, so John, he kind of, we'll say John gets there first. Okay. And you see John sitting at a table waiting for you, and he sees you come in, and he's like, "Oh yeah, over here." He sits there, and I'm assuming you sit down across from him.
I do.
Oh, hey Morty, how's it going?
Sir, how are you?
Well, I haven't ordered anything. Were you gonna eat?
No, this is not a social call, I'm afraid. This is not.
Oh.
This is not chat time for us.
Understood.
But there's something that's come to mind that I would like to look into.
Understood.
Have you had any, or do you know of any additional? I kind of described some of the attacks that have been happening, and we want to do something about it, John.
Well, it's just that time of year. Everyone's, the kids are back in school. There's really nothing really stands out to me anyway. Why? What's bothering you? What about this has kind of gotten your attention?
This is how we make things right, John. This is our path.
Oh, understood.
It's on the path. It's cleaning up the misery.
I understand. All right.
If you hear something, please let me know.
Well, there is actually something that's been kind of strange. The one with that cop. That one was bad enough. But one of the ones that didn't make the news. Come to find out, she recanted the whole thing and doesn't remember anything that happened. And I honestly, I don't know anything about the actual specifics about the home life, but I mean,
but there's nobody in your parish that needs counseling.
That's the one that I'm talking about, actually. And look, there's not a mark on her.
Right.
And something about it doesn't sit right. I've known him a little bit longer than her, and he wasn't capable of what she said in her police report. I know for a fact.
Who's him?
Blah. Name. So no, he's they always say you never know what goes on, but in this case I do know, and he's not capable of that. And she doesn't seem to think so either after the fact. So the charges got dropped, but I don't know, Morty, something's not right with it. And I think if this is how you're going to go about your work, then
this isn't about me, John.
I know.
I'm calling you because I think something is wrong, and I think it may have affected part of your flock. And I'm offering myself to help you give closure to this person, as well as preventing it from happening. This is not about me. It's not about us, but the human condition.
Right. I let me get a hold of her, and I'll get something arranged. There's still a protection order in place, but it's clear that she doesn't want to proceed, and he didn't do it. I can tell you that.
Then it's important to find who did.
I never thought of it that way. I'll get you in contact with her.
And yeah. Call Twin. He needs it.
All right. I'll try. That's rough. You know that.
I do.
How bad is he?
He's lucid some days. He needs something to ground him. And I can't be there as much as I used to be able to for him.
That's the thing, Mort. There's gonna come a point when that's even not gonna be enough.
We have to try. Enlightenment through pain, right?
Enlightenment through pain. Life sucks. That's true. Alright, well, I'll be in touch.
Yeah. He abruptly leaves.
And so the women have walked away from the meatpacking facility, and Dory has reached out to Mort to come pick them up. Would you have grabbed the poppy seeds before or after the meeting with John?
It would have been immediately, like before.
Okay.
Like,
Okay.
Yeah. He's got enough of that shit together where he's like, just check the list, then do your thing.
Mm-hmm. So the three of you ladies, I'm assuming like you're not gonna be like standing out there on like the sidewalk waiting for your ride. Like I'm assuming you're gonna be kind of hiding off in the distance until Mort gets to where you're gonna be.
In Garo territory, yes.
Oh, I would not have them waiting long. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I would not be just like tapping my heel outside. I'm
Checking your watch.
trying to be kind of hidden.
Mm-hmm. Mort, you do pull up to the address, and the three your three mistresses come out of the darkness to be taken back to the relative safety of their haven. It's still not quite sunrise yet. There's still a few hours of moonlight to be had. So we could probably finish this off with maybe Mort passing on the information that he discovered to Dory, and then we can close this out. Does that sound appropriate here, folks? Excellent.
Sure.
Okay.
Are we doing that like in the car?
If you could probably do it separately. Like this is like a little side thing before. Yeah.
I would say as we were waiting,
Yeah.
Minerva would have specifically informed Dory that this target that they have, she needs to eat.
Like eat.
I don't see why not. Certainly. He will sustain you.
Yes. He will. For a time.
The Canaanites are like a plague of rats on the earth. You will never want for sustenance until our job is done.
And then we could probably say that's when Mort would do the pickup. Take the ladies back, and let's see here. Actually, where would after getting back here, we could probably do. We're gonna tuck in for the night. That's what we can do here. So let's actually start with Minerva. What's after you all get back? What's Minerva's game plan here?
Minerva would. When we get back, how long do we have left before sunrise?
About 2 hours.
That's enough time. She would probably break off from everyone while they go in. She's going to go to the side of the building, or to the side of the garden, and she's going to essentially go on her own. Her specifics is to abduct someone, like a homeless person or just anyone. It really doesn't matter to her. They're going to end up on the wall. She's got to sustain until she can actually fully feed. So that's what she's going to do. She will take someone, whether it is a mortal, or if she can find an easy enough kindred to pick off, that's always preferable. They will both end up the same way the one from earlier ended up.
I'm going to give you a funky roll for this one. Give me a dex.
Okay.
Give me a dex and a cult.
Okay, I've got really good on both of those, so that's fine. All right. 5.
5. As you might like to season your vessels a little bit, get them good and properly scared before before knocking them out and taking them back. That's why I brought in the occult here. Having ghosts pop in and out, scaring the living shit out of them.
Yes, she may even take her mask off just to add a little flair to it, but that can wait until next time, until the night, before she actually kills them. But yeah, the wraiths that she eats only sustain her so long, and she still needs to be functional. So until she can actually have the taste of kindred blood, legitimately canite blood like that, she'll sustain herself with the wraiths that she can eat.
Okay. And I would say Minerva probably makes a point to not... she doesn't hunt in the immediate neighborhood.
No.
No.
She doesn't hunt there. She doesn't want to draw attention there, but she will happily go to like any other hot place, like hot zone. Like even if it is in one of those lovely Church of Cain's backyards, that's fine with her too. Not a problem there. It's almost like she would dare them to try to do something, because by all means.
That's a perfect way to conduct clandestine warfare, is leave inconvenient masquerade breaches in your enemy's backyard. That's very, very effective. But Look where it got the Camarilla. Oops. Anyways, what's Erica doing here while she goes to tuck in for the night here?
Well, she goes to tuck in. She's actually going to check up on her socials, because of course she's active on the socials. She's got a side hustle. Even though you're a kindred and stuff like that, or whatever, you have a regular job, always have a side hustle. Checking up everything like that, because I would assume that Marty, being in the business that he's in, doesn't run too far from the circles that perhaps Erica is familiar with. So maybe she's just keeping a weather eye out for any mention, any girls. One of my touchstones is Lady of the Night. Haven't established if she was in the city or if she was from New York.
Why do you leave ammunition like that for me to use?
I know, right? I just want to give you stuff.
I know.
Hurt me. Give it to me.
I have a relatively structured chronicle, but I like throwing the occasional hand grenade in my players' laps. You know what? That you're
part of the information that you give me later.
But
okay.
You know what? I'll give you this, and this was going to be, we'll say, public information for the audience. But we'll say that your particular touchstone, she's doing well for herself now. She's
Good for her.
she's not working the same hustles in New York. She's a traveling lady now. And just so happens that she took a picture of herself this afternoon underneath the arch saying, "Guess where I am?" and put it all over Insta.
Erica's gonna private message just like Peru, like ... And like a winky emoji.
They send back a heart emoji.
Send a kissy face emoji and then say goodnight.
They send you a pic. And we'll not go into detail about what kind of pic they send you.
The only thing Erica mutters at that point is just, "Oh, that's nice."
Mm-hmm.
Goes to bed.
And so now we'll finish off with Mort giving Dory the down low. So actually, what's Dory gonna do to kind of prep herself for the night before Mort lays everything out?
Usually throughout the course of like when she wakes up and the sunrise, her office gets kind of cluttered with all the materials and the things that she's reading and some of the organic stuff I mentioned before. So she does want to tidy that space, and I think she's reading Revelations. She's reading the third cycle, the Book of the Dragon, and kind of just meditating on that while waiting for Mort's report.
What? The Mort report. What's actually, just for flavor here, what's Dory's copy of the book look like? Because I mean, these things aren't mass produced.
No. I feel like the text on the front of it is probably almost gone. I mean, you know, no oil on a vampire skin, but just from sheer just travel
Friction.
and usage. I think this is the original copy that was given to her by the individual that led her into the Bahari, originally also back in New York.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, go ahead.
And I'd like to think that maybe this is one of those copies where this has been handed down from Laka to Laka, and there's margin notes.
I feel like there's notes in several languages. I think there's probably wayward old bloodstains. I feel like that's kind of inevitable, honestly.
That's on brand for the Bahari, very much so, yes.
So but yeah, so she's opened it up and she's kind of like in that last portion of it. And she kind of is like shaking her head sometimes, and she's like, Rachel Dolium was such a hack. Just a poser.
And that's when Mort knocks on the door. I like that ding. That was good.
Enter.
Yes, madam.
How are you? How was your night?
It was largely uneventful, but I did find some information that may help us in our little side quest, my little side quest.
Please.
I don't know how much more, and we could workshop it later. I don't know how much more it would have told you about the Pastor John coffin.
I sent you, I sent you a little PM. I don't know exactly how much Dory knows about that or who he is. This is the first time I've known it.
Oh, okay. Well, we can discuss it before next time. But yeah,
Okay.
you'll definitely know the inciting incident and all that, because that's something that makes Mort who he is. But
Okay, cool.
The fact that he keeps in contact with this particular person may not be entirely shocking, because like you said, for the reasons of, it's like he does. I don't want it to sound super intrigued because it really isn't.
It's a heavy story that I plan on unraveling over the course of this entire thing. It's a good one.
Yeah, I look forward to it. So I would say that Dory just like has a knowledge that you know this person at least.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I reached out to John and to see if any of the victims or the survivors were part of his congregation, and he does have one. And it appears that this person made a police report blaming her partner, who does not seem capable of performing what she described. And then later recanting it, she does not show any signs of anything, like of any type of attack. I don't know much about Laka or other, but I know enough that it sounds incredibly fishy. But we have somebody that we can definitely talk to, and maybe another witness to talk to if we decide to go down this hole. But ultimately, Mistress, Madam, I don't know if we can, like, I don't know how to say it, but
and it, as like Mort is kind of like struggling to continue, she kind of comes out from around the desk and goes up to Mort and sort of takes his face in her hands. Your instincts are good. You should trust them. If you say something is wrong, I agree. It sounds suspicious, to be sure. I mean,
these survivors are following the very first steps of Lilith's journey. And any comfort we can give, I feel we should.
You're right, but it would do you well not to forget that these ultimate expressions of suffering, they bring us to Sa, the enlightenment that one must pass through after great suffering in order to fully commit themselves to the Dark Mother. But it should never be at the hands of a man. The suffering should be hers alone. We will pursue this, you and I. We will help them, and we will uncover what evil is at work.
Thank you, Mistress. Thank you, Dory.
Of course, Morty.
And that is where we will end tonight's episode. So, yay.
Yay!
Thank you
Didn't
all.
hand you the poppy seeds.
I'm so surprised. I'm so surprised
okay.
Mort didn't rat me out.
I'm
Mort's
not.
not-
I think
That's
you know
for
better.
sure what
I
was
think you
about
know
to
better.
happen.
Mort's not a rat. No.
No.
That's good. That's
Snitches-
part of this lovely little test here.
Mhm.
Well, there you go. He's
Snitches
passing
get
the
chained up to a
test.
wall, have their hearts ripped out, and their souls eaten
Yeah.
alive.
Yeah,
Straight up
That
Temple
rhyme,
of
but-
Doom.
The fuck am I
Style.
gonna do?
That
It's
doesn't
like-
rhyme, but that fucking is an image, right?
So, anyways, this has been This Bloody Garden. We'll go ahead and we'll do our outros, and we'll do them in the kind of the reverse order than what we normally do. So we'll close out first with Sam. Say goodbye, Sam.
Goodbye, Sam. No. I'm Samantha McClarty. I've been Minerva, the Hakata for this lovely little garden. And you can catch me on Saturday afternoons now with Vancouver Adjacent by Night on the Level Up Dice channel. I'm playing Elena Cortez de la Sombra. I'm also in other Martlet games, and I don't know when it airs versus when this is airing, but at some point I'm also in a cult game that Zach Valdo storytells, and there's other stuff. So if you're interested in any of that or to know what's in store for me in the future, there's a link tree somewhere, I think. So if not, just look up on the socials at just S McClarty and follow me there, and you will see all the crazy shit that I get into.
Justice McClarty.
Justice McClarty.
Just S McClarty.
Yeah.
Next
Sounds
up,
like a courtroom drama.
right? Dun, dun, dun. Next up, Sarah.
Hey, my name's Sarah. I played Doriana. You can find me on Twitter at MC Diabetes. I'm a creative partner at Martlet Games. So, as Sam said, keep an eye out on Martlet for all of our stuff in production. We have vampire, we have some science fiction stuff. I'm not sure when this will air, so please subscribe to our YouTube channel to see all the videos on demand after the fact. I can be found on the Vancouver by Night channel in Delve into Darkness, which is a vampire game. It's after Vancouver Adjacent. And then on Sunday, you can usually find me there as well for Dungeons and Dragons with Phandalin by Night. We're doing the Lost Mines of Phandelver module, kind of guiding me, a new player, through D&D for more or less the first time. So that's been a really, really good time. And lastly, if you haven't seen it already, if it's airing, whatever the case, I really encourage you to check out Skin Deep, which is a bespoke horror series on the Vancouver by Night channel. That's right now on Fridays at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. Catch the VODs. They'll be on the Vancouver by Night YouTube channel, so please subscribe there. I think Pat and I and everybody involved is really, really proud of this series. So I would be honored if you took a look at that tabletop experience. And it's especially good for these spooky months and November extra innings. So go check it out. Thanks, everybody.
And Ben.
My name is Ben. You can catch me here on Martlet Games. I am not on the socials, and I'm not really branching out to much other stuff yet, but if you're lucky enough, you can see what funny things I put into the Discord. So.
And finally, Rose.
Hey everyone, Rose once again playing Erica, the entrepreneurial sex worker of Aventru. It's a dirty job, but someone's got to do it.
I love you, Rose.
I love you too, Pat. You can catch me actually on Wednesdays, also on Vancouver by Night's channel for Toronto by Daylight, Tales of the Rookery, which is a changeling game, which I am very happy for and very excited. Sometimes I have purple hair in that one. Sometimes I am blonde. I think I'm going for blonde because I can't do this all the time for that one. For anything else, please keep in touch on any of my socials. A link tree will be in the chat, one way or the other. And you can catch me on my socials on Instagram and Twitter at Rose_Bulbasaur. And if you like TikToks, I'm on TikTok as well, at Rose Bulbasaur.
Yeah. And I was Patrick Gill, or I was Patrick Gill. I am Patrick Gill. I was the storyteller. Creative director, Martlet Games. Yeah, there's tons of stuff we've got going on. The personal thing that I want to pitch is my 10 Candles anthology, Terminal Black. It's a 6-episode sci-fi little jaunt. Each episode standalone, but if you watch from beginning to end, you can see all of the threads connecting all of the death. But Vancouver Adjacent by Night, yours truly is there with Sam. I have so many things going on right now. Psychopomps Incorporated, that's the All Hecata game that I have kind of set up as like the sister show to this little bit. As far as when everything airs, I have no idea, and I'm in charge of the damn thing. But
There's so much.
Yes,
It's just easier
so
just to follow the socials at this point, and you'll see when it all happens.
Yep. But anyways, it's always a blast to get to play with this wonderful little garden here in front of you. So we'll probably be attempting to raid into somebody here. Don't know who, but until the next episode, hope you all stay safe. Love you all, and good night. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Sweet dreams.